Welcome into Section 65, the official SEC football podcast of Garage Guys Fantasy Sports. I'm your host, Clay Keaton, alongside my partner and good friend, Tanner Colson. Tanner, a lot of news today. The COVID outbreak has begun in the SEC. Nick Saban has tested positive. A lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of trouble in Vandy and Florida, too, moving games around.
Trouble all over. So trouble in Tiger Town, trouble in Nashville, trouble in Gainesville. So, Tanner, week 5, SEC, a couple games have been postponed, but we've still got some games to look at, some things to talk about. We'll look at the stats from last week. Let's get ready to roll.
Do it, brother.
Obviously, some big news today. Started out with the Gators finding out that they had 19 positive cases. But the news this afternoon broke. Nick Saban has COVID, along with the athletic director, Byrne, the athletic director. I think his last name is Byrne. Not so familiar with the Alabama athletic director, but let's definitely keep Nick Saban in our thoughts and prayers. Nick Saban, I'm a Saban fanatic, Tanner.
He's the best that's ever done it. I mean, I wasn't around for like Bear Bryant and all that, but as far as I'm aware or concerned, like he's the GOAT. It might be like a LeBron MJ kind of deal where it just depends when you grew up, but I mean the guy just is rock solid.
I'm glad you brought that up, by the way. Congrats to King James on his 4th ring. The greatest basketball player of all time, but we don't need to get into that. It's a big deal. As of right now, Saban's saying that he doesn't have any symptoms. I think he's a tough son of a bitch either way.
That guy is 5'5", 160 pounds of pure man. I don't think
he's a man's man.
I have a theory that he's not going to die until like the day after he retires from coaching. Like it's going to be like he's going to say, all right, I'm finally ready to hang it up. And then he'll just like die the next day just the way he wanted to.
I mean, he very well may coach till he's 85.
I mean, might as well. He's top dog. But thoughts and prayers up to Nick Saban, and I'm sure, I don't know, like you said, I don't know much about this Byrne guy, but, I'm sure they're both older guys. I know they're probably in –
Saban's 68, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a big game. Let's not push aside the fact that Alabama and Georgia play this weekend. I mean, I understand that Coach Saban has COVID, but this is the game of the year so far. And if Georgia wins and Saban's not there, I mean –
is it asterisk time?
Does it even really matter? I mean, did he even really beat Saban or did he beat Sarkisian?
Well, all I'm hoping for is that I don't know where he is in the hierarchy, but I would love to see Butch Jones marching around that sideline. What is he, an offensive analyst?
Butch Jones is doing whatever he can to have the lowest salary from Alabama so he continues to get his buyout from Tennessee. So he is probably chilling, making coffee, looking at plays, probably just brainstorming with Saban. I don't know. He probably –
running around giving out participation trophies or
giving out bricks, giving out participation trophies. Hey, I mean, if they need somebody to fill in, if somehow Steve Sarkisian comes down with it, how far down do they have to fall for Coach Jones to take over?
I mean, however far it is, I hope they get down there. Obviously, I don't hope for COVID on anybody, but if I want him to be the next man up.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely an interesting cat, but
was he your coach when you were at Tennessee?
Yeah, he was.
All right, so we won't slander Coach Butch. I'm a big fan of him. I like I said, I want to see him on the sideline.
Yeah. But obviously, I'm sure that Saban definitely doesn't want that to happen. But
that might honestly move the betting lines. We might.
Yeah, it very well may. Same thing going on in Gainesville. Georgia, Alabama hasn't postponed yet. I was listening to Greg Sankey earlier on SEC Network. He was talking about how they're doing it and how they're testing. And, he said that, they do a test on Sunday, a test on Tuesday, a test on Thursday. I didn't realize. But, I mean, these teams are literally, getting to the away site and then getting their test results. So – Alabama's going to get tested again tomorrow. Well, if they have positive cases come on Friday, well, they very well may cancel that game. And I'll say one thing: if Alabama wants to cancel that game, they're not playing it. There'll be no argument from Georgia or no backlash or whatever. It's going to be whatever Alabama wants to do. Obviously, they have COVID on their side, and they're Alabama, so they can already pretty much do whatever they want. But let's say they don't play. It could be a big hammering for Tennessee, a nice little bye week for Bama instead of getting banged up by that Georgia D line. Won't be good for Tennessee.
That would be a classic like Saban Belichick move. Just like if he's got COVID, he might as well give it to all of his players so that they don't have to worry about running into this issue again. Just take the week off, chill out, get the people that you need infected, and then come back next week ready to kick some big orange ass.
Jeez.
Chess, not checkers. That's the Nick Saban mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. I obviously want Georgia and Alabama to play.
Yeah, I need to see that game. That's the game of the year so far. But on a serious note, all you listeners out in SEC towns, don't fuck this up. Wear your masks. If you're a booty call of one of the players, don't go over for a little bit.
Yeah, girls, stay home, ladies. Let the guys relax. They can handle it themselves. Trust me.
This all definitely comes back to SEC cleat chasers. They are to blame probably for all
another pandemic that's going on in 2020. The SEC cleat chasers,
the much more serious of the two. They are just looking for signing bonuses for days. But again, SEC towns, don't fuck this up. Wear your masks. Be smart. Because the players are probably getting it from you guys. I'm talking to you, cleat chasers.
Greg Sankey today said that wearing a mask puts us in the best possible position that we can be in. So yeah, Tanner's right. Everybody wear your masks. All right.
Yeah, no politics or anything. Just let's keep this football season going because we are a couple of positive tests away from things really going off the rails here, bud. It's
definitely getting real, especially with Vandy, Missouri having to postpone as well. 19 Gators tested positive for COVID, like I said. LSU, Florida postponed. Another game that.
Oh, just a great game.
That game you were talking about
Florida, and we lose Georgia, Bama this week. I mean, the slate doesn't even matter to me anymore. I might take my first Saturday off.
If we lose Georgia, Bama, then Tennessee, we better get Tennessee on at 3:30 because I'm not trying to do another noon game.
Yeah, I'm sure the schedule makers have that at the top of their list, unless I don't really see another game that would take.
Well, yeah, there's not another game. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's literally not another game.
But I mean, it's I don't know how good of a game that really is. Who knows what's going on in Auburn?
I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, this is another tough week for Tiger Towns, man. All of them. I mean, we've got LSU, Auburn, and Missouri all just duking it out to see who's the best of the worst in the Tiger Land. It's like this season, all of the good juju is on one Tiger team and one Tiger team only, and that's Clemson. And you just can't have that. They can't be the best Tigers in the nation.
Well, they are, and it's not close. Hey, great pick by you last week, taking Missouri.
Dude, I wish that I had the balls to have gone on the money line, but, who knows what's going to happen. But 23 points, man, come on. That's maybe 2019 LSU, I'd take that line. But with what they've been putting out on the field, that's just ridiculous. That was my only winning bet of last weekend, by the way. And I owe everyone an apology because I went 1-2, my first losing record of the season. But I kind of felt a little scared. I went in timid last week. This week, I'm betting with confidence. I'm not going to let you guys down again. I'm going to bet with my balls this week.
Good little intro there for our new expert in Vegas. Jack Jones will be joining us week by week. We'll have Jack on here in a couple minutes to talk gambling. And Jack's going to be doing some wild stuff for us out there in Vegas, maybe going to some sports books and stuff, doing some live shots from out there. That'll be interesting. But yeah, not a great slate for us this weekend, Tanner. Let's look at last week, and then I got some numbers here. I mean, there were some unreal numbers put up last week in the SEC, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but defense is definitely down. I don't know if it's just this like weird spread revolution going on, but it seems like the only good defenses anymore are whoever's playing Mississippi State that week.
Well, nobody practiced all summer, practiced tackling. I mean, they weren't even hitting each other out there for COVID reasons, weren't they? I don't know. I mean, they don't want to hit each other that much. But yeah, the defense is down. I love it. Let's score points.
No
Let's take the over.
More points. let's make overs great. Yeah, we had just some absolute shootouts this weekend. We had one of my other bets. We had Florida at A&M, and I mean, Kyle Trask is still playing great football. Kyle Pitts, I'm a big fan of both of those guys, but their defense is bad, Clay. It's bad. There's no way around it. They just could not stop a runny nose. That was one of my big bets last week, and I guess I just have this idea in my head that Florida's like a good defensive team, and they're not. Shit the bed. I mean, that was bad, man. They couldn't get a stop. Yeah, they let that guy Spiller from A&M run wild. Kellen Mond, by the way, props to him. He's the new all-time passing leader at Texas A&M.
Kellen Mond finally looked like the Kellen Mond that everybody was talking about in the preseason. 25 for 35, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. Really good day for Mond.
Yeah, great day. It
was Gators defense is what you're saying. You're saying it might be because of the Gators defense.
I mean, they made South Carolina look pretty good the other week. That we were moving the ball. They made they've been getting in shootouts all season.
Well, Spiller. I mean, even Spiller, 27 carries, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, the Gators got absolutely.
They got shithoused. They got
They got shit
bad.
His clock may be ticking.
Whatever it is, maybe they don't have the players. Maybe it's Dan Mullen's kind of an offensive guy, but I mean that defense is bad, and it's screwing them out of some games. They could have won that game easily. They look great on offense. Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts are still rolling. They got really good receivers. They shit the bed. I mean, Florida was number 3 in the country, riding high, and they had nothing for them on defense.
Unbelievable day on offense for A&M.
Speaking of another shootout, we had LSU, Missouri, my big pick of last week, and I got to say, man, we are seeing trouble in Tiger Town.
It's so nice that we predicted that. It's so nice that we called that 2 weeks before the season started.
If anything, I think we still gave LSU too much credit.
Oh, we definitely did. I mean,
I said they might win 6 games, which would be a down year, but the way they're trending right now, they could lose to anybody. It's like
it's bad. I mean, they are in big trouble. I was looking at. I mean, they had their receiver Marshall Jr. He had 11 catches, 235 yards, 3 touchdowns, but. I cannot believe that Missouri team is not good. And
we saw Tennessee just did.
Tennessee hammered
solid, but in a close game.
And so I just couldn't believe that. But we were right. And it's nice to be right.
We sniped it. If anything, I think we overestimated LSU. I might have to lower my predictions for them. They might be like a 4 or 5 win team. They're the only team too. Like Mississippi State, since they beat LSU, has looked god awful.
Oh yeah,
and
Costello had 4 picks on Saturday.
Yeah, somehow LSU couldn't even stop Mississippi State and Mike Leach, and we thought they had it all figured out. Which, by the way, I need to retract my Mike Leach statements. We'll get to that in a little bit, but that guy is disappointing down there. I was really hoping that we were ready for a cowbell year, but I don't even know what's going on with him. But Florida. Or LSU, I think the only silver lining is, you just had maybe the best season of all time last year. If I could have that, I'd probably trade a couple years of not playing well.
Oh yeah, I'd go for it. I'll take the ring for a couple bad years for sure. I mean, it's Alabama's year again anyway. I mean, Alabama is. I mean, shout out to Lane Kiffin for what he did on Saturday with that Ole Miss team, but and even better with Matt Corral. I mean, unbelievable. That guy is a gamer. That guy has got it. That guy has got it. And you know who doesn't have it? Jarrett Garantano. He does not have it. But Matt Corral, he does have it. There's just an it factor. Kyle Trask has it. Josh Dobbs had it.
Joe
Burrow had it.
He had it in spades. The guy was made of moxie.
Tua had it. And Mac Jones, he's got it. Maybe Kellen Mond, he might have it. Jarrett Garantano, he doesn't have it.
This does not inspire confidence in me.
It hates me to say it because I'm on his side. I'm on his team. I think he's our best quarterback, but it's just how it is. And I hate to say it, and I'm going to support the guy, but it's just the it factor. Some guys have it, some guys don't.
He's like a slightly above replacement level quarterback, which sometimes is the best you can do. Which props to Garantano for hanging in there. It's not always the easiest.
I mean, he's a really pretty like Christmas wreath, but he's not the tree.
When you need to make a play, is he the guy that you feel good about making the play? Will he make it sometimes? Yeah. But do you kind of just have that feeling in the pit of your stomach that something bad might happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's Garantano, again, props to him. He's playing and he's
doing all right. He's a tough son of a gun. I mean, unbelievable.
The shit that guy's been dealing with on Twitter for years, I'm sure.
Well, I don't think he pays any attention to that. And I want to make it clear, I'm not hating on him. I support him. I think he's our best quarterback. And our coaches wouldn't have him out there if they didn't think that he was our best option. And Pruitt came out and said it this week that he's our best option right now, and that's what we're going to go with. And that's fine. Let's instill confidence in him and let him know that we're going to stick to him. But, I mean, Mac Jones, 28 for 32, 417 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Let's hop into this Georgia-Tennessee game. Let's let you get a little venting out. Yikes, bud. It started off real good in the first half, went in with a lead, playing tough, hanging in there.
Yeah, real exciting first half, really big. Tennessee scoring that fumble was really awesome. Look, I mean, it was a blast down there. I will say all the talk about how there was 80,000 people in Georgia Stadium. Bullshit. No, there wasn't. I mean, it was spread out. Section? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the TV that makes it look packed, but it really was. I mean, yeah, there was people there. Maybe it looks a little more, but it's a smaller stadium, and I don't think.
Well, I've got faith that it was probably because it seemed like it was the student section. Which, if there's one thing I know about SEC students, you're not going to keep them from congregating a little bit.
No,
if it's just students in there, what else do you expect if you let 10,000 students into the game? They're all going to huddle up in the student section,
right? But I mean, even so,
to know though.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, we had great seats from in the Tennessee section, but. It was interesting. A lot of barking going on down there. Yeah, just all that bullshit. The bars closed at I think midnight. Great time, great atmosphere. Not as great as it's been before. Obviously, the last time I was down there was the Hail Mary, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, all that shit about Georgia having
fudging their fan
following the rules, not true.
All right.
Hate to say it, but
we'll find something else. We'll find something else to come at Georgia for. Something's coming. There's something brewing, and when it comes, it's going to be satisfying. But I think we got to just say it, dude. Georgia's good, man.
I wrote it right here in my notes. UGA is really good. I mean, their defense.
It makes me gag just like saying like Georgia's good, it's it's brutal, but they're good kind of year in year out. But that defense, whatever they've got going on, it looks like the best in the SEC to me.
Oh, maybe the best in the country, and we'll definitely find out on Saturday if they play. But I'm very intrigued to see how that game will go. I think Georgia might be one of my picks this week.
Yeah, that's a huge game this weekend. If they come out looking the same way they did, and Bama looks like they did against Ole Miss, it could be a long night. All right, let's look into some silver linings though for Tennessee. You played tough in the first half. That was good.
-1 rushing yards, which granted, Jarrett had negative 50 yards from sacks.
Well, I was about to say, college count sacks is lost yardage.
Right. So, that obviously hurt, but I don't know. Last week, I was kind of, and I truly thought that Tennessee could win that game. And, I think that some things, obviously didn't go their way, but what I do know now is how good Georgia really is, and all that bullshit in week 1 with Arkansas, that was just butterflies, buddy.
And Arkansas is playing everyone tough. Arkansas hasn't been blown out all season. They've been looking good.
Yeah, they do look good, but Georgia may win on Saturday.
Yeah, I think I need to start mentally preparing myself for that possibility. Right now, I was hanging on to the Nick Saban always beats his old coaches, but now he's out. So,
well, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, is it even count? I mean, does Kirby? I mean, because people are going to say that it doesn't. strictly from Kirby and Steve Sarkisian shaking hands, people will say this doesn't count.
Yeah, I bet a lot of those people probably live in like Birmingham.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think anyone that in the season like this, everything wins are at a premium.
Yeah, for sure. But it will be interesting to see. I don't know. I just hope they play. Really for Tennessee's sake. Right, but
I hope they play, and I hope Saban and Byrne and anyone else affected heals up nice because that team is a rocket ship right now. They're a powerhouse.
They are.
Speaking of Arkansas, though, we got Arkansas Auburn, 28 to 30 points. Dude, Arkansas got hosed. I mean, they got screwed every way to Sunday. Can
you just go over kind of what happened? I mean, in detail.
So for anyone that maybe missed the game, Arkansas was hanging in there with Auburn. They were playing them tough, and they had the lead. And Bo Nix leads a drive down, and he goes to spike the ball, and he fumbles the snap, and then he picked the ball up and he threw it down backwards. So he pretty much lateraled the ball because once after you get the snap, you have to go for a pass if you get the snap. And if you fumble it, you got to just make a play and do something. But he went with the worst possible option, and he turned around and threw the ball backwards into the ground. And it was recovered by Arkansas. But after review, the refs called it an intentional grounding, and they kicked the field. And then Auburn kicked the field goal, won the game. So Arkansas got hosed with a capital H. I don't know what was at work here because they reviewed the play and everything. Even the broadcast team was like, well, that was a backwards pass. He fumbled the ball and they got screwed. Sam Pittman has talked about it. Lane Kiffin even came out and said they got hosed. That was bad, but more importantly, what is up with Auburn, man? I mean, we know that.
Well, they don't have it. I don't think that. I don't think that. I just don't think that they're as good as people thought they were going to be. And like I said, they sometimes are really good, sometimes they just aren't. And I just think that this is just one of their aren't years.
Yeah, they. I don't know if I'm seeing any improvement from that guy Bo Nix. I'm a big Bo Nix fan. I like Auburn as far as the West teams go, and I mean, he should have cost them the game with that. The awareness level was just so low.
Oh yeah.
Do you think so? It seems like we get to this point every season with Auburn where we just wonder if Malzahn is on the hot seat finally. Is it finally the year that maybe they think about getting rid of him? He's kind of in that weird gray area where he doesn't win less than 7 games ever, but he doesn't seem to win anything other than the occasional Iron Bowl. What do you think about that?
I think that he won the Iron Bowl last year, so he's safe.
Yeah, that's true. I bet Auburn fans just care about being competitive in the Iron Bowl, which I will give him credit. They are every single season.
Yeah, they are.
Coach Pittman for Arkansas had a great quote after the game about getting out physicaled, and he said, no one's going to out physical us. Half of our injuries are from hitting each other. And that is an all-time quote. They're just beating the hell out of each other at practice, and they're playing like it too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are. I mean, they don't have anything to lose. I mean, they're just really out there having fun. I mean, Bumper Pool's running around hitting everybody. No, yeah, I mean, I'm a bumper guy too. I mean, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not in the pool, hop in. It's getting
yeah.
warm.
If you're not in the pool, jump in.
Water's fine. So on to Bama and Ole Miss, and what a shootout that was, man. Is SEC defense dead, or is
Kiffin, baby?
Dude, this man Kiffin has the secret sauce going on for him right now. I don't know what it is, but I mean, the guy is just he's hard to understand. He's just got something to him. He's got that it we're talking about. I think we might have hitched our wagon to the wrong Mississippi team, man. We went cowbell, but we should have been going Rebels, I think.
Yeah, should have been going to Oxford, I think. Let's not let their performance take away from Alabama's, though. But yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. I picked Bama to cover. Obviously, that didn't happen.
They were in the game until the last, 2 drives. It seemed
Yeah. I mean, I actually fell asleep in the hotel room in Athens before the game even finished. But speaking of Heisman candidates, I mean, Najee Harris is my guy right now.
I mean, it's hard to argue with a guy that just scored 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he's probably well, and he had I'm pretty sure he had maybe close to 10 before that game. So I mean, 23 carries, 206 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's so wild to see SEC games. They put up, it was 63-48 in regulation. They didn't even go to overtime. They put up over 100 total points, 111?
Yeah.
Without even going to OT. I think it was the highest scoring game in SEC history, at least in regulation. I know A&M and LSU had that crazy game the other year, but they had 8 overtimes. But that was crazy. I mean, just to see a defensive team like Bama, they just had all the answers. They could not be stopped. I don't know if Lane, he's an offensive guy, but they looked unstoppable. Mac Jones, I know you want to talk about him for a minute.
Yeah, Mac Jones, I mean, he was on Feinbaum today. I mean, I was thinking that Bryce Young was going to be in there by now. But, I mean, Mac Jones, 28 for 32, 417 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's balling.
Yeah, he might be a Heisman contender with Najee Harris. They might both be going to New York this year.
Yeah, no, it's going to be Mac Jones, Najee Harris, Trevor Lawrence, and Etienne.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're going to get 4.
That'll be good for COVID too. If we only have 4 guys from 2 teams.
We got to keep a limited amount of teams coming in.
Yeah,
that Etienne guy. I hate Clemson with a burning passion, but that guy is good. I'd let that guy on my team any day.
Oh, bring him to me.
He's a beast.
I love watching that guy. I haven't watched Clemson at all this year, but I loved watching him last year.
Yeah, he's no Najee Harris though. I mean, Najee, he's a little more of that power guy. That guy is a truck.
He's
so stacked everywhere. I don't know what happened to their defense. I don't know if Lane's just got the secret sauce, but that was crazy. What a game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was a fun game, and I'm sure that those people in Oxford absolutely had the time of their lives watching that game. But yeah, I think we need to jump on the Kiffin train, the Lane train before it leaves, buddy, because I'm not so sure if Leach is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, no, I thought they were good after they beat LSU, but dude, Mike Leach put up 2 points this week. 2.
Yeah, against Kentucky too. I mean, Costello threw 4 picks. Obviously, that affected him, but
yeah, he got benched.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, well, in the game. I don't know that he's benched permanently, but I know after his 4th pick, they took him out.
Well, that's
sure he threw 3 last week.
Tanner, it's a big week for me. I mean, I don't know if we have much else to talk about from last week. Well, we can kind of look at that. But
I just want to say I don't know how Mike Leach fooled me this hard. I'm out on Mike Leach. I tried to hold my stock in him last week, but I'm selling all of it. I'm all in on Lane Kiffin in 2021. I mean, that's what I'm gearing up for in Mississippi. I don't know how good they'll be next year, but I think that one's much more likely to work than whatever's going on at Mississippi State. How are you an offensive coach and all you score is a safety?
Yeah, that's pretty weak.
Against Kentucky, who's 0-3 going into that game?
0-2.
0-2. Yeah, they and then after the game too, Mike Leach pulled the classic. We're going to have to look through all of our players and see who really wants to be here and play. Yeah. So he pretty much threw all the guys under the bus and said it's got to be their fault.
That's a Butch Jones.
Mike Leach basically said there's no way what I did was wrong, even though we scored 2 points, both on defense. But it was definitely the players' fault. We'll see how that works out for him, Bob.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but that's not something that a guy that's going to stick around for a long time.
Mississippi State's got A&M this week.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's not. I'm officially
not startable.
Mississippi State again. I bet them last week. I fell for it twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I gotta get off the bandwagon. I'm out.
We might.
What?
What? I mean, Texas A&M might not be a bad. I mean, if Mississippi State's really been looking that shitty, it might not be a bad to take Texas A&M.
It's one of my bets.
The way their offense looked last week.
Yeah, I got them for one of my bets. I don't know what you've been missing out on, but we'll get into it later. But that's a very tantalizing looking line to me.
Okay.
All right, last game, probably the least relevant game of the weekend. After all the other great games that went down, South Carolina beat Vanderbilt 41-7. I'm scared a little bit as a fan, but I think that we're competent, which is not something you can always say when you like a Muschamp team. But, we've covered 2 out of 3 games. We were 1 point off of covering against Tennessee. We're running the ball. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I'm not going to get too excited because it's Vanderbilt. But we might be a live dog in that Auburn game.
I think you might be right. And, here's what I have to say about that South Carolina Vandy game is I know that South Carolina isn't very good. And
not great.
The fact that they just hammered Vandy like that just really gives me chills. I just love that. I mean, that's just
enjoy more than watching Vandy just get hammered week in.
Yeah, and Vandy is like a couple days away from just needing to just call it, if you ask me. But I mean, I think they're getting down to close to under the number that they need for, or the under the requirement that is needed to have a team.
Well, I think I got to be honest. I think our preseason under bet on Vanderbilt is looking very, very promising right now.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
I don't know if they play. Maybe they could beat Mississippi State if they keep looking like this. But outside of that, I cannot think of a single team that they got a chance up against. They might just be getting the doors blasted off every single week. Fun fact, though, looking forward to the Auburn-South Carolina game, which I refuse to bet on. South Carolina hasn't beaten Auburn since World War II. In the 40s,
like 1945 World War II.
Yeah. Like just after Prohibition, all that.
Like D-Day.
Yeah. We beat them. We beat them right around World War II. But even weirder, we've only played them 12 times ever, and we're 1-10-1. So,
and one of them was in the SEC championship.
One of the losses, Cam Newton spanked us. And our best year with Spurrier, we had Clowney, we had all the good players, and Cam Newton just came in and just mollywopped us. We didn't stand a chance.
Yeah,
so
I mean that.
Anyone that's thinking about betting South Carolina, I can't touch it, man. That's a pretty damning statistic.
Yeah, that is. I was gonna take South Carolina, but I don't know about that. I mean, if we're taking it all the way back to the 40s.
Hey man, we're bucking the trend. This is the year. All right, that's probably
that's a good fact by you there.
Oh yeah, you like that one? I've been seeing it all over like Gamecock Twitter. Everyone's like, let's hold our horses here. It's been literally 80 years since we've beaten this team.
Jeez.
I mean, maybe this is the year. Maybe it'll happen. It looks like as good of a chance as any recently. But that should do it for our game recaps. We're going to be cutting over to our picks with Jack in Vegas here in just a minute.
Welcoming in now, former Tennessee offensive lineman Jack Jones. Jack, it's a new segment on Section 65, the Vegas Kid. Jack, welcome in.
Man, thank you so much for having me, Big Clay, Tanner. I am so excited to be on.
Jack's going to be giving us some of his picks, and he's even going to bounce outside of the conference a little bit, give us some wins,
some free money.
I'm trying to help you all pay the rent this month. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I could use it, man. After the week I had last week.
Yeah, not a great week last week. I think I dipped under 500 after last week, thanks to Florida and Alabama, but.
Yeah, Clay's sitting at a sterling 4-5 for the year. I'm just a little better. I'm 5-4, so we're still in the positives. But hopefully with the help of our guy Jack, we can get some winners this week.
Absolutely.
So Jack, you live in Vegas, right?
I do. This episode was supposed to be live from Caesar's Palace, but work has sent me to Salt Lake City.
You went from Sin City to Salt Lake?
Yeah, it's polar opposites there, but loving it out here. Beautiful views and great weather, honestly.
What do you think?
Let's just jump right in.
Yeah,
let's jump right in here.
Around the conference,
Clay.
I'm ready to make some money. I want to get these on the books.
I got to bounce back.
Yeah, let's get it started with the go-to Tennessee -6 return of the rush. I love it. I don't, the line may have moved a little bit, but Tennessee all the way. They're going to cover, and they're going to cover well.
Big blue losers. Kentucky hasn't won in Neyland in years.
Look at the history.
I like that. We got history on our side with that bet. I also have Tennessee -6.
I was going to take it. I just get too invested, and this Kentucky game means a lot to me, especially after last year. Tanner's going to put in the video of the fight up in Lexington. But yeah, I think I'm not going to touch that Tennessee game. A lot of things on the line. I hate Kentucky, and I'll just be too nervous. But I like it.
That's
where
we differ, Clay. That's where we differ. See, I think I like that extra rush in a big game. I like that.
Okay.
Tennessee.
If I think
extra.
Yeah, if I think about you and I'm definitely not surprised to hear that at all.
Yeah, I also like Tennessee -6 a lot. I think it was -6 last I checked, but I like that. I like that line. What else you got?
So, we got a couple cancellations, but I'm really, really fired up to hear the news today from Alabama.
Wow.
I was going to pick UGA, and now I'm even more wanting it because I think Kirby's coming down for a little bit of blood.
I just hate Kirby. I'm going to be one of these people that's saying that this one doesn't count. But
I know I don't love him either. But I agree. But we're talking bets here.
We're talking money. Yeah,
that's a major factor. There couldn't be two worse teams. I mean, Florida playing Bama, I guess, would be worse. But I think without Nick Saban there, I think the Dogs win, and I think the Dogs are going to win before. To be honest with you, I was going to take them before, but I also like the over there a little bit. If you want to sprinkle a little magic on that, see what happens.
What is that over?
Throw some toppings on there.
56 is what I saw.
Points, baby.
I know Tanner's a big under guy, but
I love punts, man. I love punts.
And then we're gonna move. I got South Carolina +3.5.
I'm gonna jump on that one with you there. Add me to that one, Tanner.
Because I have, and this is, I have a sister at Auburn. I love her. I love her to death, and this is going to break her heart to hear. But Bo doesn't know. I don't think he knows a thing at all. And I think South Carolina takes him down. I can feel it vibrating through my bones.
The sandstorm.
There's a sandstorm brewing this weekend, boys.
Bo doesn't know shit.
I can't bring myself to bet on a game that we haven't won in 80 years, but I mean it's tempting, man. I'm looking at it and it's just I'm salivating a little bit because I love the line. We're what 3-point dogs right now, 2.5.
I think it moved. Yeah, I think it moved. It might have moved a little bit, but I like it.
I've got Auburn.
I'm taking money line.
Yeah, money line.
I mean, it's only 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If it's over 3, I may take the -3, or if it's 3.5. But if it's under that money line, it's rough.
Yeah, we could have a game on our hands there.
Run back through them really quick. So you're going Tennessee minus. You're going South Carolina money line unless it gets over 3.5.
Yeah, maybe there. Yeah, but I'm going South Carolina.
I'm going to jump on that Georgia-Alabama game with you as well. So I'm going to do that Georgia-Alabama game with Jack. I'm going to get on with Jack for that one. And then I'm going to take that South Carolina as well. And then I'm going to go with Kiffin and Ole Miss after that offense last week. I expect them to beat Arkansas by more than 3.5.
Yeah, that's a feisty Arkansas team, but I like where your head's
Arkansas is feisty, Tanner. You are right about that, but I don't know. I just think what's Sam Pittman really like, Jack?
I don't really know him
really
that well. I was my story. I committed and didn't really look anywhere else. I was
committed in
loyal to the brand.
2006.
Yeah, back in 2002.
Yeah, you were getting
When was your
recruited
last
out of middle
desk pop?
school. What year did you start getting recruited? How old were you?
I about 9 years old. I was playing out on the rec fields. No, I was kind of a late bloomer. I continued to grow as I got into high school. My sophomore year was when I got my first offer from the great Rick Stockstill at MTSU. That was really cool. I grew up going to all those games. I live a mile away, and then I got offered by Georgia Tech, and that same day I got offered by Tennessee, and then I committed 2 days later as a sophomore.
The rest is kind of history.
I grew up like Clay. It was I remember my first time getting to come up to Knoxville from Murfreesboro, and it was just a really cool experience. I knew it as a kid and just wanted to play. I wish it would have worked out better with our team, but we had some good games, good times.
Yeah, well, hey, VFL is that's for life, man. You can't quit that.
Well, you can quit that, but I love Clay. I'm just messing with Clay, but
you can quit playing, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can actually. But like Clay's a VFL man. All the guys still love Clay, and it's they talked about it on the podcast with Thomas. Being a walk-on and doing all that is a lot different than getting your school paid for and getting to play and getting to see the field. I mean, you got to love that. And Clay's got the worst body of all time. I don't think he can barely walk. So
it's just fact. I mean, I just don't. It's just fact. I literally would be hobbling around there. People would be like, "Are you all right, man?" And I'd be like, "No."
Yeah, Clay. Funny story about Clay. We were down playing in a bowl game. I don't know if y'all talked about this.
We didn't.
Clay rolled his ankle about the first practice. So you get down to – you've been in bowl prep. It's like another camp, and especially if you're like a 2 or walk-on O-line, like you're getting a lot of reps. You're grinding. They're trying to develop the younger guys. And, a guy like Clay with that body, they really wanted to mold him and shape him. So we get done with this crazy bowl prep, and we get down there and we got like 2 or 3 hard practices, and then it's bowl time, and then we get to celebrate. First day, we're warming up. I don't think we've even stretched yet.
No, that's false.
Okay, well we were first period doing block and drill.
We were doing angle boards. All right, we were doing angle boards.
Who were you going with?
I want to hear his side of the story.
Just let me tell the story.
Clay. I was holding the pad for Jay Sean.
He was holding the pad for Jay Sean, and we weren't even really – I mean, we're there. We're kind of just hitting the bag, making sure, we got everything down, getting your steps warmed up a little bit. Clay somehow rolls the absolute dog shit out of his ankle. And I just remember the funniest thing. I just remember Mahoney just moving the drill over. And Mahoney and me just sitting there and him being like, just look at him. He's just laying there.
Left Clay sitting there.
Trainer hasn't even gotten there.
I was hurt bad, man.
No, you were hurt. But I just remember looking at you laying over there.
Like, oh, it's another walk-on third.
And the look in your eyes is like you knew you had zero sympathy from anyone, and you were just like sitting there just demoralized.
Well, I didn't have any sympathy until y'all saw my ankle in the locker room, and then Thomas literally looked at me and he goes, "Oh, you're chilling, buddy."
Yeah, you probably excited.
Yeah, that was probably a blessing in disguise for Clay.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I will say, Jack, when it first happened, before it settled in, and like before I was like, look at that.
What am I looking at here?
Yeah, it's a bad picture, but you can't see it. But anyway, at first I was like, yes, I'm chilling. I'm not doing anything. And then the next morning when I woke up, I got out of bed. My pain was so bad that I vomited. And then I was just like, screw this. I wish I was practicing.
You vomited?
Swear, I started sweating, and Keeler had to help me.
You and Keeler
a nice pain vomit.
I wasn't like blowing chunks, but I was like,
I can see.
Oh my God, whatever, man.
I'm kidding.
I know. But then once I was doing freaking train, having to go to what's it called?
Vinny.
Yeah, but what was it called when you had
the training room?
No, it was called
treatment?
something like treatment. Yeah, treatment. When I had to go to treatment 3 times a day, that's when I was really like, all right, this sucks.
Yeah, I just love that picture of Joe Keeler nursing you while you're throwing up on that bad ankle. I think I would love to be a fly on that wall.
I've got a great mental image in my head of Clay like waking up and like hobbling over.
That's hilarious.
Let's bounce out of the conference a little bit, Jack. Here, yeah. On
that segue, let's hop out of the conference, Jack. I know you got some locks for us this week.
Well, I've got an eye for this sort of thing, Tanner, and I'm seeing a little SMU minus. I think they're minus 6.5. Love that over Tulane, and then I got BYU. I'm in the great state. I've been walking around. I've been seeing all these beautiful Mormon people in their BYU apparel, just saying hey. And I just got a feeling that I'm going to take Houston. So I got the BYU minus 5.5. And finally, this is my lock of the week. My ACC lock of the week: Boston College plus 12 over Virginia Tech. They're catching 12. I think they might damn near win. Take the money line if you're feeling a little frisky. I like maybe a little parlay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got to tell you what, we were tailgating, me and Clay, actually, for that BYU Tennessee game. What was it, last season, I think?
Yeah.
And they have got to have some of the nicest fans in the world.
Dude, it's beautiful here. I got my car at the airport, and pulled into the gas station. They're offering to come out and pump my gas for me. They're just great people, and can't bet against them. I'm loving the feeling. I see a lot of BYU colors out here.
I'm like so not with everything y'all are saying. I hate BYU. I want them to crumble.
After what they did out on the field that day, that was a sad day to be.
You want to talk about how nice they are, sure, but if you ask me, they're a bunch of people, 27-year-old virgins. If you ask me, sorry.
like I've said before, Clay. We're trying to win money here, and
that's true. All right,
I like BYU 4-0. It's Houston's played one game. That 4 games versus 1 is a lot different as far as your team development and kind of finding that identity.
Houston's still getting warm. They're getting their feet wet.
Yeah, I really do like BYU there. And then, like I said, Boston College, man, I think that's a lock. Yeah, other than the Vols, I think that's my big ACC lock of the week right there.
Okay, so Vegas Insider Jack has got Georgia plus 4, South Carolina plus 3, Mississippi minus.
Are you taking South Carolina plus 3? Or are you taking South Carolina money line?
I'm taking South Carolina money line. It's time to play.
I love that. That's the attitude we need. We need more of that. And then he's got Tennessee minus 6. So, you should probably hop on that Georgia line.
And the over for Bama.
It is absolutely dropping by the minute with Saban out. So if you can get it anywhere from plus 4, plus 3, plus 3.5, I say you jump on it.
Take it
straight to the bank.
Now that's interesting though. Does it? We brought this up earlier, and I'm sure y'all brought it up earlier on the show. Does it count if they lose? This is Nick Saban's team that he's developed. If you go into war without your general, if he gets sick, you still go into war and you still win or lose.
Realistically, it definitely still counts, but as a
fan,
guy, yeah, as a fan, not a chance. There's an
as a Kirby hater, it does not count for me, not even close.
I don't think it counts either.
Unless Butch Jones takes over on the sidelines, it doesn't count at all.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so that's
I'm a
our
huge
Vegas
Butch Jones guy. I love Butch.
Dude, I'm a big Butch guy. I've been saying all show, I want to see him. I want to see him out there again.
I'm just goofing with y'all and the Vol fans out there. I just want to stir them up.
No hot topic like the.
My rule is, yeah,
wasn't that your coach?
That was my guy. I was like, yeah, I was only.
You were his guy.
Yeah, you weren't you like the crown jewel of that recruiting class?
That is definitely not true. But I was a big recruiter though. I brought people with me for sure. Look at Cade Mays. I might be the best recruiter of all time. He went to Georgia and still came back.
Are you taking credit for that?
That was all me.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Jack Jones welcomes Cade Mays back home.
I didn't want to say anything, but I've stayed in contact over the years, and I never thought he was lost. I always thought he'd find the truth. Let me tell you something about Cade Mays' dad. Hell of a football player. Really amazing O-lineman at the University of Tennessee.
I didn't realize his dad was like a big-time player. I knew he played at Tennessee.
He was a baller. He had some injuries, I think, that prevented him from going to the next level. But he's a player.
Shout out.
Well, it's gonna be.
Shout out Cade Mays. Shout out Cooper Mays, man, getting a little action
Cooper.
there.
Let's give Cooper some shine. It's Cade's time now, but
all SEC center. Cooper Mays. I'm calling it. Give him 2 or 3. Kid's gonna be a good player.
Jack, thanks for joining in. Jack's going to be back next week with more picks. We'll see how he does this week. But Jack, I really appreciate it. I mean, I really hope you do well. It will be kind of funny to see you put an offer up there, but
yeah, hopefully Jack is just the juju.
I'm taking all the things that you're taking, so I'm obviously not cheering for that.
Clay's officially on betting autopilot until he starts winning again. He's just going to listen to whatever Jack says, and hopefully
reinforcements.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all so much for having me on. I really enjoyed both of your company, and talking little ball brings back the memories. They're just flooding in from everywhere.
Well, I mean, you're back, Jack. I mean, this isn't a one-time deal. I mean, let's not get it confused.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know. I had a couple mess ups. I didn't want to jump into conclusions.
If you go over this week, we might have to look into replacements. But I think it would be even more fun to just keep you on.
Well, I don't want you to go over because I'm riding with you.
Well, if I go over, it'd be an actual anomaly.
Just statistically speaking, there's the odds of that are very low.
Yes, the odds of that are very low. But I'd love to. I'm gonna get live from a Little Caesars Palace next week. We're gonna have the lines up on the TV. Maybe get a little bit of that going. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. I think this is the start of something beautiful.
This could be the start of something.
This is the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you.
Jeez.
And I.
All right, thanks so much for coming on, Jack. We'll be sure to link back up with you next week, man.
Let's do it. Everybody, lock them in. Count your money in a week.
Hey, tell him one more time, Jack. Tell him one more time who doesn't know.
Bo doesn't know. You heard it here first. Sorry, Liza Jane Jones, my sister. If I'm you down at Auburn, I know you and the sisters are going to be a little angry with that one, but at least you can make a little money with your sadness after a loss.
Yeah, hopefully Bo won't be having any slumber parties over there anytime soon. We got to keep these guys clean. All right, Jack. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We'll see you next week. We'll see how those picks go.
Thank you, boys, so much for having me. Can't wait.
Go Vols, Jack.
Go freaking Vols.
Big thanks to Jack for joining us. He's going to be back every week with his picks. Should be a lot of fun. Jack, one of my good friends, and soon to be one of your good friends, Tanner. Great guy. But big week in the SEC, only 5 games, some stuff to look at, some stuff to watch this weekend. Next week, we're gonna look at our scorecards, Tanner. Yeah, halfway through the season, so we'll take a look at that, and should be a very interesting weekend. If Georgia Alabama gets canceled, they better get that Tennessee Kentucky game on at 3:30, buddy.
I'm just nervous about COVID right now, man.
Me too. It's really scaring me.
Derailed, but
everybody, keep your masks on. Keep your masks on, and social distance, man. Wash your hands.
Yeah, we'll just keep chugging along. I know the SEC will, but at this rate, man, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm excited, man. 5 games this weekend, a couple moved, but SEC football is SEC football. Big blue losers coming to Knoxville. Should be fun. And we'll see you next week. Later. Jack, before you head out, tell us one more time. Who doesn't know?
3 quick words for you, Big Clay. Bo doesn't.
know. And that's the facts.